Hello and welcome to Varn Blog. And we continue our discussion of what's the origins of democratic centralism. We've seen Lars Lee's take, we've seen Scott Napolitas's take, or Napolitos's take, Napolis take. Sorry, Scott. But we're going to go to a friend of the show, been a guest twice, both talking about Spengler and talking about the Second International, Ben Lewis, on who was a member of the SPD and what that has to do with democratic centralism. Why was it important? Let's get right to it. This is from February of 2024, so relatively recently as far as we go here. This week, by popular demand, we are taking a break from the Bluesky text on Bolshevism and bring you something that I first started thinking about a while ago when working on some of the controversial issues of democracy and centralism within the history of the socialist movement. This research, and my work more generally, is informed by an important yet largely obscured historical fact that the organizational debates within the German-speaking sections of the socialist movement at the beginning of the 20th century fed directly into the controversies within Russian socialism, not least when it comes to terms such as democratic centralism, as I outlined here. We'll read that later. And other translations that might be of interest to on this score are two public posts I made a while ago here and here. And let's just look at what those are. All right. And we see that here in this video, which we're not going to watch because I don't watch video. And here and here. Okay. Back then, I did not have in my possession a book by Wilhelm Schroeder entitled The History of the Social Democratic Party Organization in Germany, which helpfully, albeit with a revisionist tint, outlines the key organizational debates within German socialism from 1863 to 1912. That's important. What is more, it reprints each and every party constitution agreed upon at the sovereign body of the social democracy, the Party Congress, from that time. Translating, contextualizing, and analyzing the work of this scope is obviously a project in itself. But today I wanted to highlight a not insignificant amendment in the first paragraph of the SPD's party rules between 1890 and 1900. While this might seem a rather esoteric academic exercise, the comparison is significant because it to some extent preempts one aspect of the controversy between the Bolshevik and Menshevik factions at the 1903 Congress of the Russian Social Democracy, namely over the precise definition of a party member in the first paragraph of the party's rules. Martov's resolution reads as follows. A member of the Russian Social Democratic Labor Party is one who, accepting its program, works actively to accomplish its aims under the control and direction of the organs of the party. Lenin proposed the following. A party member is one who accepts the party's program and supports the party both financially, my emphasis, Ben Lewis, and by personal participation in its organizations. The issue of the program, participation, and dues in particular are therefore the crux of this matter. On this score, it is worth contrasting the first paragraph of the SPD statutes from 1890 and 1900, and I have retained a slightly clunky and outdated language by paying funds, etc., to provide a translation that is as close to the original German as possible. 1890, agreed upon at the Party Congress in Halle on October 19th, 1890. Anyone who proclaims the principles of the party program and who supports the party to the best of their ability is a party member. And in 1900, agreed upon by the Party Congress in Mainz on September 21st, 1900, anyone who proclaims the principles of the party program and who continually supports the party by paying funds is a party member. The shift in the definition of membership in 1900 is clearly of significance in the debates in 1903. The aforementioned account by Wilhelm Schroeder recalls an organizational commission set up by the parliamentary fraction that presented the main Congress with a draft of changes to the party's statutes. Some, he notes, rejected this draft is not going far enough to create what he calls a strictly centralist organization. A future pledge will look at other sections of the two statutes to explore this further. When it comes to the issue of party dues, Schroeder notes that it had become necessary to include some kind of financial obligation in the party constitution. Previously, this had not been legally possible given the SPD's fragile constitutional status, and even in 1900, individuals paying dues to the SPD would likely have been blacklisted or face threats from the police. As such, many opposed the new definition of party membership, and it was noteworthy that the right-winger Ignaz R., a member of the organizational committee, spoke out against it in the following terms. An old acquaintance, said R., the weaver from the Owl Mountains has no money at all. We are suddenly asking him to demonstrate his party membership through financial contributions. This objection is as old as the organized social democracy in Germany itself. It was paraded against the 10-penny dues in the German Workers' Association and against the Eisenach organization. The only strange thing is that this old and recurring demand has never come from the weavers in Owl Mountains or the Ore Mountains themselves, but always from the party comrades, from a place where, as far as one can speak of such a thing among the workers at all, a certain prosperity prevails. When time permits, I will return to these debates and elaborate more on the party political content in which they occurred, because the discussion does not seem to boil down to the left demanding stricter, more centralist organization and the right opposing it. Again, the context is decisive, as this time when the party was discussing whether to formalize its local structures or to stick with a system of elected, trusted representatives that had used in times of illegality and semi-illegality. Writing in De Gleichheit, for instance, Clara Zetkin defended a certain autonomy and freedom of party bodies. In our view, the history of the social democratic movement proves that the loose form of organization has not damaged the party's firm internal unity or its effectiveness, nor has impaired its material capacity. The old saying that the better is the enemy of the good applies here too. We do not believe, however, that transferring party business to self-contained associations would result in a significant strengthening of the party association and greatly increase its material capacity, as some have predicted. Der Gleichheit, issue number 19, 1900. Some food for thought. Happy reading, and thanks to all of you who have joined us as free members. If you are here for the first time and are enjoying reading this kind of material, then please consider becoming a patron to receive posts of this kind in your inbox every week. Now, this is just a short diversion here from our normal topics, but what's interesting is the issues of centralism are already being debated and already are coming out in relation to other debates that split the Mensheviks from the Bolsheviks over the definition of party membership back in 1903. Which gets to my point. Whether we think it was Schweitzer and the Lassalleans or it was central to Marx, this was already a debate in German socialism in the Second International. It does not solely come from Lenin and cannot be described as solely some kind of Leninist deviation, even if some of the other things that cause problems for later existing, Leninist and Marxist-Leninist sects don't seem to be here yet. And there does seem to be a pretty robust internal debate over these issues. But the idea that Lenin made it up just doesn't seem to be the case. And on that, this is a little short, brief thought for you to think about when we come to more issues regarding democratic centralism. We have a lot to discuss here, and I'm digging into a lot of different texts to find a bunch of answers. And I'm not just going to focus on democratic centralism for a long period of time, but it's something we have to process and get through. All right. Check out Ben Lewis's work, by the way. I find him excellent. He's been on the show and will probably be on the show again. Take care, like and subscribe, and keep on digging. Protect your peace and learn what you need to know, because this world is not our world in the same way anymore. Take care.